Hey everybody, welcome back to the Thinking Crypto channel. I've got big news around the SEC and Ripple, as well as Bitcoin going to $115,000 by August of 2021. Before we get into it, we're closely approaching 50,000 subscribers. So please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Guys, the SEC has officially charged Ripple. Here is what they tweeted. SEC charges Ripple and two executives with conducting $1.3 billion in unregistered securities offering. And of course, they point to a link on their website as a press release. And I'm just going to read part of it, not the entire thing. You guys can certainly read through the entire document. The SEC announced today it has filed an action against Ripple Labs Incorporated and two of its executives, who are also significant security holders, alleging that they raised over $1.3 billion through an unregistered ongoing digital asset securities offering. According to the SEC's complaint, Ripple, Christian Larson, and the company's co-founder and executive chairman of its board and former CEO, and Bradley Garlinghouse, the company's current CEO, raised capital to finance the company's business. The complaint alleges that Ripple raised funds beginning in 2013 through the sale of the digital asset known as XRP in an unregistered securities offering to investors in the US and worldwide. So we know, a lot of the history here. Like I said, I believe at one point XRP was a security, but then the ledger and validators and all that grew to so much where Ripple did not control the ledger anymore. And it is certainly decentralized right now, not a security anymore. So I do believe, long story short, they will pay a fine and this will all get resolved. And Ripple's got some big muscles behind them. A lot of big time regulators and people from the SEC, one person who was once a chairman of the SEC. They got people from the CFTC and all kinds of regulators behind him. Well, Brad Garlinghouse weighed in. He said here, Ripple has spent 8 years working tirelessly to build an incredible company transforming global payments. Our mission doesn't stop. Here's what I sent to the employees yesterday, plus our lawyer's reaction to today's SEC filing. And it's an article on Ripple.com, of course, and titled The SEC's Attack on Crypto in the United States. And here's what it had to say. Here's a note I sent to Ripple employees yesterday. We remain confident after reviewing the SEC's complaint today that we are on the right side of the law and of history. Also, more reaction to today's filing from our lawyers. The SEC is completely wrong on the facts and law, and we are confident we will ultimately prevail before a neutral fact finder. XRP, the third largest virtual currency with billions of dollars in trading every day, is a currency like the SEC has deemed Bitcoin and Ether, and is not an investment contract. This case bears no resemblance to the initial coin offering cases the SEC has previously brought and stretches the Howey standard beyond recognition. Andrew Serenity, oh my goodness, I'm sorry guys, couldn't pronounce his name there. And it's from the Ripple's lawyers, essentially. It says here, this complaint is wrong as a matter of law. Other branches of the U.S. government, including the Justice Department and Treasury Department's FinCEN, have already determined that XRP is a currency. Transaction in XRP thus fall outside of the scope of the federal securities laws. This is not the first time the SEC has tried to go beyond its statutory authority. The courts have corrected it before and will do so again. And they reference Michael Kellogg, Hansen, Todd, Feigl, and Frederick. And Stuart Alderoty, who's the general counsel at Ripple, also referenced this in a tweet, saying it's easy to play amateur Twitter lawyer, as a lot of people have been doing. Wait till you see the real pros in action. Michael Kellogg has argued 14 cases in the Supreme Court and 100 more in the courts of appeals nationwide. Check out Andrew Serenity plus the rest of the DNP's team as well. So they got some muscle here, guys. I think, like I said in my previous videos, short term, this is a bump in the road. Long term, this is no problem. Ripple's got politicians, regulators, a whole bunch of people behind them, right? When you got a congressman Tom Emmer coming out saying XRP is not a security. When you got Chris Giancarlo doing an op-ed, the former chairman of the CFTC saying XRP is not a security, you know you're doing something right, guys? So things are moving ahead here, and Brad wrote some additional details here, saying in his 5+ years at Ripple, I've seen an incredible amount of progress, innovation, and growth. This year alone, we brought to market new products and features leveraging XRP, like line of credit, enabling a better payments experience for our customers, yada, yada, yada. He also just stated a few things. He said here, we have, however, explained that XRP is not a security because, among other things, one, XRP is not an investment contract. XRP holders do not share in the profits of Ripple or receive dividends. Absolutely true. Nor do they have voting rights or other corporate rights. Purchasers receive nothing from their purchase of XRP except the asset. In fact, the vast majority of XRP holders have no connection or relationship with Ripple whatsoever. Absolutely true. Ripple, our company, has shareholders. If you want to invest in Ripple, you do not buy XRP, but rather shares in Ripple. Unlike securities, the market value of XRP has not been correlated with Ripple's activities. Instead, the price of XRP is correlated to the movement of other virtual currencies. And that's absolutely what we know, guys. In the market, Bitcoin is the rising tide that lifts all boats. The alts have followed Bitcoin's move. So once again, long story short, XRP is not a security. This was a punch in the face by Jay Clayton, a personal vendetta against the folks at Ripple on his way out, and it's pretty childish. And let's see what happens. But I do believe as he's leaving and he's not even there to fight the fight, right? Jay Clayton I'm talking about. I think this is not going to go well in the SEC's favor. I think he's gone. Ripple's got a lot of muscle behind it, and this is just a bump in the road. Brad went on TV and talked about it. I'm going to play part of the clip here for you guys. And he's doing his PR campaign, right? And this is going to expose Jay Clayton and the SEC big time because he's making the rounds. CNBC, Fox Business, CNN, and many more. Let me play it for you.
As we bring in Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, for a first on CNBC interview. Brad, welcome. Good to have you with us. And this is an interesting story. I'm going to pick up where Kate just left off, which was the idea that investors may have thought that in buying XRP, they were buying a security that gave them shares or some ownership in Ripple. Why is that wrong on its face?
Well, first of all, Tyler, thanks for having me. I think this is an important issue. And I think there has been confusion out there. Ripple, the company, as Kate introduced, we have shareholders. We've raised capital from venture capitalists, from actually institutions, and even banks like Standard Chartered as a shareholder. XRP is a separate thing altogether. It is a currency that trades in the marketplace. In the last 8 years, over $1 trillion of the currency has traded. And so what we find is, the SEC, in my opinion, having watched this for many, many years, taking a position now that is, frankly, I think, with one foot out the door, a little bit incredible to kind of take the position after 8 years.
There are a variety of cryptocurrencies, including XRP and obviously Bitcoin and others. Why do you think the SEC is it something in the structure of your business that makes the SEC concerned that there may be a securities violation of some sort in here? What's different about the way you are structured that would cause them to potentially file a suit?
Well, about 2.5 years ago, a little over 2.5 years ago, the SEC came out proactively and said they did not view Bitcoin as a security. They viewed it as a commodity or currency. Shortly thereafter, they came out and said Ether, the second most valuable cryptocurrency, is also not a security. They then have spent the last 2.5 years going after kind of enforcement by saying that certain initial coin offerings were securities offerings. Actually, I've spoken out in favor of that because I think in many cases those were, in fact. XRP, however, is almost undistinguishable from what is Ether in terms of its decentralization, in terms of the breadth of activity. It's traded on a couple hundred exchanges around the world. And what's amazing to me is not a single other country anywhere has looked at XRP as a security. you've had countries like the UK and Japan and Switzerland and Singapore all come out and say things that make it clear that XRP is a currency.
So obviously Brad talks about, hey, look, in other G20 markets, Singapore, UK, Japan, XRP is not a security. They've declared that a long time ago. That's why you have some of those companies there using XRP for cross-border payments. So it's just the US. It's just the US and it's just the SEC here, guys. This is so annoying, but it is what it is. But Brad's doing his thing, going around, making the rounds here, and he's exposing them. And you guys recall this morning on the video I published, I talked about Ryan Selkis of Messari Crypto, where, look, I gave him credit because at one point he was a Ripple hater, XRP hater, but then he actually learned the facts. He spoke to the folks at Bitso and they told him how they're using XRP with Ripple ODL. And now he's saying things that I really agree with, and that shows his mind is opening up here, because he said this affects the entire market, not just XRP. There's other cryptos that are going to be affected by this ruling, and a lot of people don't realize that. I know the Bitcoin maximalists are going crazy because they don't care about anything else, but they don't realize the bigger picture here, right? Bitcoin doesn't exist in a silo by itself. It's under the umbrella of crypto, and we are all in the same boat here. So Brad Garlinghouse replied to Ryan saying, hey, I appreciate you saying this and what this could mean for the entire crypto market. Ripple's CTO David Schwartz weighed in and saying the United States is one of the few countries where regulators will, after years of you operating in full light of day and frequently updating them on everything you are doing, turn around and tell you that you should have known you were breaking decades-old laws all along. So what is he talking about? Ripple's been working with the regulators since the beginning. Greg Kidd has said this. They've been very transparent. They have all their reports they put out, their quarterly reports, how XRP is being used, all of that stuff. And once again, Jay Clayton waits 8 years on his way out, a week before he's out, drops the bomb. So it's, once again, this is not like business as usual. This was a slight. This was something that he wanted to punch Ripple in the face, the folks at Ripple in the face, and get out the door, right? Pretty childish in my opinion. But things continue. David Schwartz also gave an update on the work he's been doing on the XRP ledger, saying all the XRP ledger performance and memory consumption improvements have been reviewed and merged. This bill looks awesome. I feel like I finally pulled out a thorn. So they continue to do the work and make upgrades, guys. So very, very good sign. So the story continues. The drama continues to unfold here, guys. But switching gears, I want to talk about Dan Morehead, his tweet. And in my interview with Dan Morehead, once again, the founder of Pantera Capital, he was here earlier before than all the other guys like Paul Tudor Jones and Raoul Pal and all these guys. He had predicted $115,000 by August of next year. And if you haven't seen that interview, I'll put a link in the description. Well, he doubled down. It says here, he tweeted the article on their website saying Bitcoin demand equals 3x supply. So essentially talking about the supply and demand economics, the stock to flow model, and everything is still on track to that $115,000 price point by August of next year. He's still pushing that price point, and here's the chart. It's still on track. So right now, he's looking correct, guys. It's playing out as he's saying, and we can see new all-time highs and significant price points next year. Obviously, it's not a certainty, but right now the data does not lie. Things are on track. And take a look at this. The halving stock to flow projection, and look at the dates, right? Now, he does give like, okay, the price point is X amount of weeks off, but still increasing. And of course, we're in December. They were looking at a $32,000 price point. We're at 24, so not too far off. But like I always say, the price could be a little bit lower than $100,000, or it could totally blow it out the water, right? It could go beyond that. Well, even if we hit just an $80,000 Bitcoin by August, that is still amazing, right, guys? Or even $70,000, that is going to make us a lot of money. I'm certainly looking forward to those prices. And as you can see here, They're looking in January at a $38,000 Bitcoin, February a $45,000 Bitcoin, March $52,000, April $62,000, May $74,000, June $88,000, July $104,000, August $115,000. I hope this plays out. No one can, of course, predict the future or accurately predict this, but you can get close, right? One thing we can certainly look at is the trajectory based on the math, based on the algorithm, based on the demand. And things are moving in the right direction and on track, guys, just as it's played out in previous bull markets. So I'm very excited. Have your cash out plan ready if you are planning to cash out. I certainly know what I'm going to be doing. I'm excited for next year. And what we're seeing is just Bitcoin investment firms popping up everywhere now. Anthony Scaramucci, who worked under the Trump administration, founder of Skybridge Capital, he said Bitcoin is in the early innings on TV this morning because they've launched their Bitcoin fund. Let me play it for you.
Well, you can add Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge Capital to those looking to hit it big in Bitcoin. Skybridge launching a new fund tailored to the cryptocurrency. Anthony joining us now. It's good to see you. Welcome back.
It's great to be back, Scott. Thanks for putting my high school picture up before the commercial break. I appreciate it. My family appreciates it.
Your hair was a little big, but we won't go there for right now. We'll talk about that some other time. Why Bitcoin? I mean, is it obvious? It's just on fire lately, so why not?
Well, I think it caught fire. Listen, we would have loved to have deployed the fund 3 or 4 months ago. I think it caught fire, but we're still in very, very early innings, Scott. And over the last 2 years of doing research on Bitcoin, getting comfortable with Bitcoin, of course, doing a ton of SALT talks with people like Michael Saylor, it became clear to us that we needed to create a client-friendly product, something with a $50,000 minimum that the mass affluent could access or RIAs that we're close to could access. And it's a cheaper offering than the rest. It's 75 basis points. It's in an LP structure, which makes it easier for RIAs. And until, frankly, there's an ETF or there's a customer account somewhere where people can hold Bitcoin, this will be a way for us to democratize Bitcoin like we did the hedge fund industry a decade ago. So 4 months in the making, Scott. It started trading today with $25 million of the firm's capital. We're going to go live on January 4th for outside investors. And we're super excited. And you either have to accept that Bitcoin is a store of value or not. There are still skeptics out there. And that's why I think we're in the first inning. But after doing the research that we've done, we believe it is. And given the monetary supply and the global central banking coordination right now, this will be a very strong asset class over the next decade.
And you don't feel,
So notice what he said. We're in the first innings, so we're still early of this new parabolic cycle, right? That's going to play out next year. And there's going to be more halvings after this. So remember, look at it macro level. That's how these guys are looking at it, even if they're buying at $20,000. Like Michael Saylor, he's got in at, 20-something thousand. Aggregate, price point they've got in at is at 15,000. So they're looking long term. They're looking at 100,000 and beyond. And I hope that's how you're looking at it too, guys. He said they're launching their fund January 4th. And guess what? Just the tip of the iceberg. More and more of these guys are going to come out the woodworks, set up their crypto fund. It's happening. They see all the money Grayscale is making. They see all the stuff that's happening, guys. And the money printing continues. Stimulus is out, and more stimulus is coming next year. So the writing's on the wall here. And that's why I hold Bitcoin in my portfolio. I'm also bullish on the other cryptos like Ethereum and XRP and so forth. And I continue to accumulate in the dips, not financial advice, but I'm looking macro level. So guys, what do you think? Do you think we could see that $115,000 Bitcoin price in August of next year? Would love to hear your thoughts. Leave them below. Share this video. Hit the thumbs up button. I'll talk to you guys later.